Hello, good day, and for our discussion today, it's all about possible troubles and remedies of lubricating system. So we are now in lesson 6. So what is lubrication system? An automotive engine needs lubrication as they comprise of two or more rubbing, moving parts. These parts produce friction and generate heat, which causes excessive wear and tear of the pairs. Lubrication plays vital roles in automobiles as it aids its working efficiency and longevity of an engine. When two moving parts experience a form of lubrication, they are separate from each other. That is, they do not come in physical contact with each other. For better understanding, we need to know what is the function of lubricating system. The primary purpose of engine lubrication is to minimize wear by securely closing the clearance between moving parts such as shafts, bearings, and etc. Lubrication also avoids the moving parts not to come in direct contact with each other, and it also serves as cleaning agent in an engine as it moves the dirt particle to the oil pan. Smaller particles are filtered out by the oil filters while larger ones are retained in the oil pan. Another purpose of engine lubrication is that it serves as a cooling system. Lubricating oil cools the moving parts of the engine and transfers the hot oil into the cooler oil in the oil pan. The oil creates a seal between the cylinder walls and the piston rings. It also reduces the exhaust gas flow-p. And now it's time for us to discuss all about these possible troubles and remedies in lubricating system. Actually, these are 4 common lubrication mistakes that can lead into troubles of your engine. So first, we have this over lubrication. You can have too much of a good thing. When an asset lacks grease, it will quickly make the problem known, usually by failing. At the other end of the spectrum, overgreasing can have a similar effect. That's why it's important to remember that lubricants have volume of their own. Too much grease could actually cause an asset to jam, necessitating additional maintenance and hours of downtime. Likewise, overgreasing may lead to seal failure. Grease guns can produce an extraordinary level of pressure and in excess harm bearings. Similarly, when grease dries and cracks, the pressure of additional lubricant can cause it to break apart, further damaging the bearings. An ultrasound reading can help technicians know when enough is enough. The remedy for this is that while calculating the regrease requirements for all bearings on site and determining the output of grease guns are a great place to start, there are other concerns that must be addressed as well. For instance, the output of grease can vary between guns. The best way to counteract this problem is to standardize with a single type of grease gun so that the output will be similar for each other. Grease guns should also be dedicated to a single type of grease and checked at least once a year. If possible, bearings should be outfitted with grease force fittings that allows excess grease to be expelled without compromising the integrity of the seal. The second problem is this opposite to this number 1. So we have this under lubrication. A lack of lubricant is likely one of the easiest problems to spot. Assets that aren't properly maintained will make themselves known in short order. Typically, excess heat and sound will radiate from the asset until failure. Alone, these symptoms are easy to detect, but within a noisy facility, they could go unnoticed. So in this situation, the remedy is that you can use ultrasound equipment such as ultraproof 201 grease caddy can help facilitate some on operating costs by providing a visualization of ultrasonic waves. In doing so, personnel will know exactly when an asset needs lubricating and when it's in working order. This process saves man-hours so they can be applied to situations of greater needs. Plus, the device is easy to use even in crowded and noisy environments. The third one is this using the wrong lubricant. As reported in Machinery Lubrication magazine, viscosity is one of the most important properties of a lubricant. Using an oil or grease with a viscosity that varies from the manufacturer's recommendation is a recipe for failure. Read all documentations carefully and follows guidelines exactly. That's the important thing you need to do. It is also important to note that additives will change the composition and viscosity of your lubricants. If adding foam agents, antioxidants, or corrosion inhibitors to your lubricant, check to see that it hasn't altered the solution beyond the figures set by the asset manufacturers. Remember that not all lubricants are created equal. To make your choice, first check your vehicle's maintenance manual to find the standard or authorized lubricant recommended by the manufacturer. This should match the information on the back of the product. You should also choose a lubricant whose viscosity matches your vehicle's needs. Viscosity is a measure of resistance to free flow and is listed in two grades, a cold grade and a hot grade. The fourth one is this mixing lubricants. Because not all lubricants are created equal, as what I said a while ago. In fact, mixing the wrong kinds of lubricants together can be just as damaging as not lubricating at all. According to Machinery Lubrication magazine, mixing synthetic and mineral-based lubricants can cause major problems leading to linkages and complete failures. According to the source, when the wrong lubricants mix, they risk expanding or shrinking nearby cells, causing them to fail. Such problems result in increased speeding as thus assets must be replaced. Similar problems occur when an incompatible thickener is added. Similar problems occur when an incompatible thickener is added to grease. The mixture can become unstable and inappropriate for use on most machinery. The consistency of the lubricant may vary greatly and become unreliable. Not only does the machinery suffer as a result, but the grease must toss out too, leading to further expenses. So, check your vehicle maintenance manual to find the standard or authorized lubricants recommended by manufacturer. That's the things you should remember. Because the right lubricant will meet international standards as well as the specification of each manufacturer. And the last one is lubricant contamination. One of the chief causes of premature bearing failure is lubricant contamination. Not only does contaminated lubricant harm machinery, but it can also be expensive to remove and clean. Understanding how and why contamination occurs is the first step to preventing premature failures. For instance, a contamination may come from particles in the ambient air, dirt from outside the facility, or from agents within the machine itself. A condition monitoring policy that includes housekeeping protocols will ensure that contamination has a minimal impact on asset uptime. However, visual inspection may not be sufficient to determine if contamination has occurred. An ultrasound tool can pinpoint discrepancies in the ultrasonic output of a bearing, notifying maintenance personnel in advance of equipment failure. An improved lubrication program starts with accurate data, Whether your facility utilizes a condition-based lubrication strategy or preventive method, your technicians need more data if they're going to make any process. The UltraProof 401 Digital Grease Caddy Pro is the perfect blend of data management software and advanced digital technology. With this all-in-one device, your lubrication personnel can create baseline decibel levels, then take readings before and after lubrication to ensure the asset functions properly.